Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's been 8 months and I've been gone because I had a whole baby. I was pregnant in the last couple of videos that I posted. I was extremely out of breath. But anyways, here we are. I am back and I think it's time that I film an updated just full collection video. My collection has changed a lot. I've gotten rid of a lot of plants, mostly because of space and also because I don't know, I've been wanting to downsize like I've mentioned a few times on my channel, and I finally had like a reason to actually just go ahead and do it. I also changed like my layout of my plants since the last few videos, and I wanted to show that too because I actually really like the way it's all looking. My plant room is no longer with us. It's now a nursery. I can't believe how much has changed. Now it's a nursery. Not a plant nursery, but a human nursery. So yeah, everything's out here in the living room now. Every single plant. I don't have any plants in my bedroom. I don't have any plants in his room because the lighting in there is just terrible. But anyways, thank you for sticking around. Let's get into it. All right, let's go ahead and start with my least favorite section, if I'm being honest. This is my Millsbow cabinet. I've had this piece of furniture for the longest in my collection, and I keep a lot of trailing plants in here that I just don't have the space for. They honestly get a little bit neglected in here. I wish that I had more space to display these somewhere else, but for the time being, this is where I keep them. I still love them though, nonetheless. I can't part with them, so. But first I have this, what is this called again? Pilea peperomoides. It's not getting ideal conditions either, but this is just a plant that I really like. I have plans that one day I'll be able to put this in its ideal spot and it'll grow. But for now, it's just kind of getting ambient grow light, which is definitely not ideal. But anyways, moving on. Starting back there, that is my Hoya Flores Island, or UT039. I do really like this one. It has fluorescent, almost green, fluorescent, is that the word I'm looking for? Or neon green leaves. And it gets a really pretty sun stressing, like an orangey hue. And then I have my Ripsalis Camposportuana in the front here, which needs to be repotted so badly. I really, really like this one. And I wish that I had like a cuter area for it, but I simply do not have anywhere to put this. Still love it though. I like the way it grows, but I prefer it underneath kind of less light because then the leaves stay this darker color. Ever since putting it under this grow light, it's been putting out like lighter green leaves. That seems to be the case with Ripsalis in general. I prefer a little bit less light for them. Right here, this is Ripsalis sulcata. Pretty close to the other one, sorry you can kind of hardly see. But yeah, it's got like the lighter green leaves going on. I'm wanting to move these to lower light eventually. And then next to that, this is my rat tail cactus. This plant is more thirsty than you would think. I missed a couple waterings and it shriveled up a little bit. It also isn't super pokey, like you can touch it. It's a little pokey, but it's not gonna like leave spines in your skin type pokey. But I really like this one as well. Mine is very spindly. I've definitely seen others with like thicker leaves, and I don't know if that's a fertilization issue or something, or light maybe. I just hold on to this one for the hope of the future. Back there, this is actually one of my favorite Hoyas. Ignore the mineral deposits on the leca, but this is Hoya carrii. I recently propagated this. It used to be a long strand and I just cut it up into as many nodes as possible. And it looks like they're finally actually starting to take off. You can see some new growth at the top there. This is a very small leaved Hoya, fuzzy leaves. That is actually a Monstera alba that I refuse to give up on, even though I probably should have years ago. It just went all white on me, and for some reason I'm holding on hope that one day it'll put out a leaf with some green. And then right here, this is my Hoya manipurensis. Pretty small, very slow growing for me. I've had a different specimen in the past, that grew a lot faster and then just suddenly died. But my husband got me this for my birthday a few years ago, and I'm trying to start over, but for some reason it just doesn't like me. Right here, this is my Ripsalis. What is it? Punicio discus. I think there's a flower on it, if I'm not mistaken, if it didn't already fall off. I saw it yesterday. Yeah, it looks like it already fell off. But yeah, it was pretty cool. This had flowers. You can see maybe right there. There. I don't know if it's going to focus, but there's some dried flowers on there. And then I really like this Aeschynanthus gracilis. It's very small-leaved, but it grows pretty fast. I don't love how it's getting sun bleached. This used to have darker green foliage. As you can tell, I really like darker green foliage rather than like this lighter color, but it's still doing well. It blooms all the time. I'm surprised there's no blooms on it right now, honestly. It has very bright red lipstick looking leaves. I mean flowers. And this is my Hoya. This is my Dischidia ovata. I love this plant. I keep it closer to the light because I actually like the sun stressing on this one that it gets. It looks like a watermelon, pink and green, and it's always got flowers. They're kind of weird looking flowers though. Now on the second shelf, this is my Ripsalis or Hadiora salicornioides. It's gotten a little sparse and it's definitely been shedding. I don't know if I need to repot it or something, but still don't mind. It was pretty lush when I got it, so I don't really mind if it gets a little bit more sparse, but it has grown quite a bit. That's my Ripsalis pilocarpa. As you can see, I have a lot of Ripsalis in here. This, I just moved in here recently to get some sun stressing, which would be cool. It's pretty close to the light. I also would like to just get it growing. I've had it for a little while and it hasn't really done anything, so be happy to see that finally take off. Probably need to water it. That's my Hoya Waiitii. I grew that from a single node. Same with this one. And this one's growing so slow. I've done everything I can think of. Probably need to repot it though. This is Hoya Nicholsoniae New Guinea Ghost. I did get this as a single leaf node, but it's been years and I've only have this much growth to show for it. This used to be a Hoya compacta monoloa, but all the monoloa parts died, and now I'm just left with a regular green Hoya compacta, which is fine. I actually had that plant on my wish list. So I'm hoping that this can grow and just turn into a plant one day. Also, this one here, this is my Hoya Sunrise. I started this from a very, very small cutting. I had a plant about this size, traded it for this plant, and we've just grown it back. It's kind of funny that they're side by side, but I really love this plant. I wasn't expecting to just really, really love this. I love the sun stressing, which I normally don't like in Hoyas, but I also love the green and the combination of both. Kind of similar to the watermelon Dischidia. I kind of like that watermelon coloration, also even on this one. And I have this beautiful variegated Hoya Bertoniae. I used to have a full basket of the regular green, but unfortunately that one did get downsized. I think I gave that one away to someone in my neighborhood, but I thought I have the variegated one, I might as well just keep that instead. And this is a favorite of mine. This is Hoya Lacinosa variegata. I need to probably take some insurance cuttings of this plant because I don't want to lose it. And I don't know, I have a feeling since it's in this cabinet, it's probably getting a little neglected. I should probably move it or something. This plant is a staple Hoya. This is Hoya Curtisii. It's been on the chopping block for a very, very long time. I used to have a very full basket of this also, but I chopped it and I don't know, I just kind of restarted it because it was looking a little sad, and here we are today. Not sure how long we're gonna have this one, to be honest. And then this is just a random jar of sphagnum moss that I keep. I don't know why. Sometimes I like to add it to terrariums just to kind of get a head start in some green sphagnum moss. I don't know. It's kind of cool looking. I just keep it there. I never do anything to it. And then back there, that's my Hoya Mathilde. I love how dark and splashy those leaves are. We've been together for so long. I started this plant from a very, very, very small cutting, maybe 2 leaves many years ago. And here we are today. This is my Hoya icensis. This plant has also been on the chopping block, but I think I want to keep it. I just can't part with it. I've propagated, sold so many parts of this plant, and it just blooms. Like, it doesn't put out leaves, it just puts out flowers, which is kind of weird. I'm personally not that much into the flowers for Hoyas. I'm more into the foliage, but the flowers are obviously a nice little surprise, but not when there's only 2 leaves. So hoping this one puts out some foliage soon. Another story similar to the rest is Hoya Lauterbachii. I'm keeping this one for the potential, but it hasn't been doing well for me. And this is a cool Hoya. This is Hoya, well, it was Hoya Alexandra, which is, if you can see that variegated section, it's the inner variegated fuzzy Hoya australis. Yeah, as you can tell, it reverted, and it's just kind of a regular fuzzy australis. Don't know the name. I think it's Australis subspecies australis, if I'm not mistaken. And that is a Hoya coronaria. It has kind of Velcro almost, or velvety leaves, like actual velvet, like the itchy type. And then this is a variegated Phalaenopsis orchid that I found at the grocery store that's actually in bloom. It blooms pretty often, actually. And that is a Hoya Bordenii that I've restarted so many times because of scale and root mealies. And then this right here is a little bowl of pinguiculas that I just keep in this bowl that I thrifted. It's always in bloom also. It's not looking so great right now. These are usually a lot more lush, but I think during the winter or something, I'm sure in a few weeks even, this will be a little bit more lush. Try and get a better angle so that these are not super backlit. Hello, Scoot. So, that's my Scoot. Can you get down? That is my Philodendron atabapoense, one of my oldest plants. I wish I could keep it to where it's growing towards me, but unfortunately it's facing the window. That's just how it has to be. But then I have my Philodendron patriciae. This has seen better days. I think it's just my lack of light in this apartment. It's just really unfortunate. I have a Xerographica. And this is Anthurium, what is it? Clarinervum, also facing the window, and then just a Phalaenopsis orchid. This thing is like at least 10 years old. We've had it for a very long time. And while we're backlit, let's just continue on that trend. This is my fernleaf cactus, which I showed in my jungle cactus video. Sorry, again, this lighting is just awful. This is a Hoya gracilis. Let's see if I can. Hoya gracilis memoria, and then a Anthurium beechii. This new leaf, I just really want to show it. It's so pretty. Look at that. And then my neon pothos. And over there I have, let's see. And then right here I have a Nepenthe pitcher plant and a Peperomia incana. It has like really pretty, oh my God. It has really, that's so awkward. It has really pretty velvety, like bluish leaves. Sorry, that's the best I can I can get. And then I just have my Thai constellation right here. I'm gonna show you these shelves right here. I love this shelf. I got it from Amazon. And then I moved my IKEA Redsta cabinet right here. I love this little corner. It's where we eat. This is our dining table. I don't know. I used to have my my IKEA Vitjo and Millsbow right here, but I really like the black. I don't know, black and plants just look so much better to me than white these days. Starting up here at the top, my Hoya obovata is in bloom right now. It just lives up here on top. And then I have my philodendron tortum up there also. And then my Billietier. My Billietier lives right here. And what is that? I think this is a stump of a Anthurium crystalline magnificum. And then I have a propagation of a snake plant that I recently gave to my mom. She originally gave it to me and I just gave it back. And then my Ripsalis paradoxa lives right here. And underneath that is my Syngonium albo with some propagations right behind. And this is my Ripsalis basifera. And then my beautiful Hoya Polyneris silver. And then my mystery Ripsalis back there. I'm going to guess it's Ewaldiana. One of my favorite Hoyas, my Hoya Lita Baus, variegated Bella. This is just a regular Carnosa. I recently took a bunch of propagations. I used to have a way bigger plant, but it's already turned into this big bushy plant again. So this plant grows super fast. And then my other favorite Hoya, this is the Anica Baus, the outer variegated Hoya Bella. And another Phalaenopsis orchid in the very back there that I got just at a roadside sale one day. This is the last remaining cutting of my Hoya pubicalyx. I think that was featured in my Hoya video, but used to have a big plant of this and then I gave it away. I did, however, keep some of the splashiest cuttings, so that'll be fun to grow out. And then right under here I have my succulent collection, which is small, but these have turned into some of my favorite little plants. I guess my mindset has changed. I like plants these days that are low maintenance and kind of take care of themselves for the most part. This is a euphorbia that I won from a little spin the wheel thing at a nursery. And I just love it. I have to keep it way back there though because it's very, very toxic to cats. Not to mention it's very pokey. I actually recently just picked up a variegated jade from the nursery. I have the regular jade and I don't know, for some reason I wanted this. And yeah, I like it. This is a little aloe vera that I got a long time ago from the farmer's market from an elderly couple that had a little booth with succulents, and I just thought it was very sweet, so I got one of those. And this is just a succulent that I don't know. I got a little leaf when I was on a walk one day and I just tossed it in soil and this is what we've got. So if you know what that is, let me know. It might be too soon. This is actually a peperomia that I recently picked up at a plant shop kind of thing at Cal Poly. I thought it was a succulent, but apparently it is a peperomia columnia. I think it's the coolest thing ever. My husband actually pointed it out to me and I thought that is so cool. So I picked that up. Back there is just my regular jade. I got a leaf from the plant that's growing outside at my apartment building and I just stuck it in soil and this is what we've got. I also picked this up recently. I really want to get better lighting of this though. Not much better, but this is a Haworthia cooperi. It looks so cool in direct sun, but that is just not something we have around here, as I've mentioned a million times. It's got kind of clear leaves, and you can see the liquid inside. I don't know if it's water or what, but I've been wanting this for such a long time, and I finally came across it. And right here is my burro's tail succulent. My burro's tail succulent. I grew this from a single little leaf thingy. I recently just added a bunch more little propagations in there to hopefully create a fuller plant. And that is another succulent that I got, if you can even see, from a walk, that little stringy thing back there. I don't know if that's going to take or not, so we'll see. And then I just have my Anthurium magnificum here. I honestly, I just chopped this thing back to nothing and threw it down here because it had thrips, and it actually put out a leaf. So one day when I have more space, I will hopefully have somewhere to put this where it's not neglected. These are some of my last Etsy shop plants. I've recently taken everything off my shop because of my baby. So yeah, they're just going wild in here. I never have to water these. They just kind of take care of themselves, and I forget that this is down here, but yeah. I see a Hoya Kamingiana in there that I honestly think I might add back to my collection because I think that's such a fun Hoya. And then I have some Globulosa. I'm not really a fan of this one, so I might give these away. I don't know, we'll see. Up here, this is my Staghorn Fern. It has, I was gonna say seen better days, but honestly it hasn't. It's never really done well. But it did just put out this nice looking frond. I know I need to water this more, which is why it's not doing well, so I kind of just accept the reality of this plant. I'll just probably water it after this video. Okay, moving on to above my Redsta. These are some of my favorite plants. I just wish that you could really see them each individually a bit more. I hate that I have to cram all my plants together in one spot, but that's just how it has to be. I've downsized as much as I can take at the moment, but anyways, I have a variegated money tree. These things love light, so I keep it directly underneath the grow light. I am afraid that this might be reverting because the newer leaves are a lot less variegated than the older leaves, as you can see. But regardless, such a beautiful plant. This one I love. This is, I think that's ceiling dust on the leaf. Sorry about that. But this is a Monstera Sierrana, which I am so excited to see this thing mature. And for the first fenestrations that it gives me, I'll be so excited. This is very similar to a Monstera Deliciosa, but it has slightly different fenestrations. And then I have my Philodendron Florida Beauty up here. I would love to show you this leaf. Look at that. I just got extra floral nectaries all over my hands. My Philodendron Splendid back there, if you guys remember, I used to have a massive plant of that, and it just became too much for me to take care of, so I took a propagation, and that's what we're left with. And this is my Philodendron Spiritus Sancti, which keeps battling thrips ever since I got it, really. It might be the plant that introduced thrips to my collection, actually, but I love this plant either way. And it's finally getting pretty big. I should probably treat it again just preemptively after this video. This is a begonia I recently chopped back. I don't really know what it's called, to be honest, but it has very pink and shiny glittery leaves. And then this is my Jose Buono. I had a giant plant of this, but I recently took this cutting because upon further inspection, it was infested with thrips. And so I showered it off and gave it a massive treatment. Probably going to do that all over again soon. But honestly, I'm not mad at this cutting. It's pretty cute. and I needed to do something about that plant. It was getting too big. So I just have it in sphagnum moss right now, hoping that it takes. It did have some aerial roots, so I'm hoping that the transition is seamless between propagation. I don't know, we'll see. Hoping for the best, because this is kind of a staple in my collection. And then I have some air plants just hanging out in a bowl that I forget to water. Also, I apologize, I did not wipe anything down before this video, so this is just the reality. Right there is my Hoya PG04. It just always looks good. My Hoya Huschkelliana variegata. My Hoya Rebecca. My Ripsalis clavata, which I showed recently in my Ripsalis video. It has grown so much since that video. Can't believe it. And this is very happy news. I got a Anthurium pallidiflorum for my husband for Christmas, I think in 2024, and it just died like immediately. And I apparently saved a node. And one day I was just looking in my I had like a terrarium, and I found this random little sprout. It turned out to be my Anthurium pallidiflorum. So this is where we're at today. Very, very, very happy about that because I love this Anthurium. And then this is a Hoya Tequila Sunrise, and a Hoya Serpens, which is not looking so great. I can tell that it needs to be watered right now. And this is a new Ripsalis to my collection that I love. It is Ripsalis micrantha. It has really cool papery thin leaves. And that's a random fern that I might just toss after this video, to be honest. I found this on the side of the road when I was on a walk the other day. Someone was giving away a couple plants, and I thought, why not? And then I have a Philodendron verrucosum here. For some reason I can't part with it, but I also don't give it optimal care. Story of my life. And then I have a Hoya Finlaysonii. I've had this thing for so long. It started putting out this vine, but I don't know what's going on with that leaf right there. And I have an El Choco Red Philodendron just randomly right there. I have an Alocasia Maharani. And this is a Forgetii hybrid of some sort. Anthurium Forgetii, maybe Warocqueanum, not sure. That's an Ace of Spades. We're not going to talk about that. And this is a red crystallinum. And that's a papillaminum that has seen better days. And then this is a Alocasia frydek. Just put out this leaf. Very cool. I've had that plant for an embarrassing long amount of time, and it finally is taking off. I'm telling you, like, I think I've had that since 2018, and it never had more than one leaf at a time until now. So very, very exciting news. I really like this Aglaonema pictum bicolor. It's starting to really get that, I don't know if it's pictum, but that characteristic, like those spotty leaves. Probably needs to be repotted also. And then I love this begonia. I think it's like the centerpiece or the focal point of this whole cabinet. This is Begonia chloristicta, the green variety. I think it might have been reclassified to something else, but I don't know what. And then behind these, oh, this is a Anthurium Doriaki. And behind that I have two Anthurium Warocqueanums that need to be watered immediately. And lastly, I think that is a Syndapsis Silver Lady. Wow, I actually think that is the last plant to show you guys. Very, very cool. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this updated plant tour. Let me know what your favorite is and what else you would like to see from me in the future. I will talk to you guys later.